Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to jump right into something super important in English, the present simple tense. Now I know, it sounds kind of basic, right? But trust me, getting this down is the key to talking about your everyday life, your habits, basically your world. So let's dive in.
So let me ask you something. How do you actually talk about your day-to-day life in English? You know, your habits, the things you do all the time, or how would you describe what your best friend likes to do? Well, the answer to all of that, it's all wrapped up in this one simple but really powerful piece of grammar we're looking at today.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what the present simple even is. Then, we'll get into the rules of making a sentence. After that, we'll build some sentences ourselves, see how it works in a real conversation, and finally, use it to tell a simple story. Sound good?
All right, first up, let's think of this as a new tool in your grammar toolbox. And before you can use any tool, you've got to know what it's for, right? So let's get right to it. What exactly is the present simple tense?
Okay, now this is super important. The present simple isn't really about what's happening this very second. It's for stuff that happens over and over, or things that are just always true. You know, general facts, like the sun rises in the east. Can't argue with that. Or habits, like I drink coffee every morning. It's really the tense you use for just normal everyday life.
Okay, so now that we know what it's for, let's look at how to build it. Think of it like a blueprint. Every good sentence has a solid structure, and once you know that blueprint, putting the pieces together is actually pretty easy. So here's the breakdown of the three main ways you'll use this. For a positive statement, it's super simple. Just the subject and the verb, like I play football. Easy. But when you want to make it negative or ask a question, English brings in these little helper verbs, do or does. So you'd say, he does not like coffee, see? And for a question, that helper just jumps to the front. Does she go to school? It's a really clear pattern once you see it.
Okay, everyone, lean in for this one, because this is probably the most important rule of all. For he, she, or it, you've got to add an S to the verb. It's not she play football, no way. It's she plays football. Seriously, that tiny little S makes all the difference. It's the secret to sounding natural and getting this tense right every single time.
So we've got the blueprint, we've got the rules. Now for the fun part. Let's stop talking about it and actually start building some sentences you can use right away.
Let's walk through these. First up, I wake up early. Simple, no S needed. But look at the next one. My teacher teaches English. See that? Since my teacher is a he or a she, we add that ending. Now, you might be asking, why ES and not just S? Well, it's because the verb teach ends with that ch sound. For verbs that end in sounds like ch, sh, or s, we add ES just to make it easier to say. It flows better. And then look at my friend likes music. My friend is a he or she, so bam, the S is back. You can totally see the pattern now, right?
All right, making single sentences is one thing, and that's a great start. But the real goal here is to communicate, right? To actually talk to people. So let's see how all these pieces we've learned fit together in a real back-and-forth conversation.
Okay, let's listen in on this chat. It kicks off with a simple hello.
And we get a friendly reply. Pretty standard stuff so far, but now, pay attention. Listen for how they use present simple questions to keep the conversation going. And boom, there it is. Our first example. Where do you study? That's a perfect question for asking about someone's general life, their routine. You're not asking what they're doing right this second, but what they do as a habit.
And the answer is just as clear and simple. I study at Green School. A perfect, clean statement. And notice, no S on study because the subject is I. It follows our role perfectly.
Here we go again with another great question about routines. What do you do after school? Once again, they're asking about those regular, everyday actions.
And check out this answer. It's a great one. They use the present simple to list a couple of different activities. I play games and do my homework. See how cool that is? You can talk about a bunch of things you do in your routine, all in one simple sentence.
Okay, so we've built sentences, we've walked through a conversation. Now it's time to put it all together. For our final piece, let's use the present simple to tell a whole story, from start to finish, about a typical day.
As I read this, just notice how these simple sentences link up to create a story. One action flows right into the next. I wake up, I brush, I eat. It paints a really clear picture of a morning routine, and it's all done with that same simple structure we've been working on.
And the story just keeps rolling right through the day. I go, I listen, I study. It's amazing, right? Just by stringing these present simple sentences together, you can literally describe your entire day. This is how you start telling stories about your own life in English.
And really, that's the whole point. The present simple isn't just some boring grammar rule you have to memorize. It's a tool, a really powerful one. It's the key that unlocks your ability to share your world, your routines, your habits, your whole life with anyone in English.
So there you have it. We've covered the what, the how, and the why. We've seen it work in conversations and stories. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's for you to use it. So go on, take a second, think about the structures we just looked at, and ask yourself that question: what's your daily routine? Thanks so much for joining me.